Nicole's frustrations come to a head. Danielle bids New York City a final farewell. Chris and Jamie have a romantic getaway. Jen makes a reluctant return to the family farm. Debbie and Usama start over. And Gabe gathers the courage to come out to Isobel's parents. Those and more are my recap of 90 Day Fiancé the other way. Hi, Grandma Bev here from Life with Grandma Bev, and welcome to this week's recap of 90 Day Fiancé the other way. It was a lot more interesting than last week's was, I'd say. First, let's get started and get over with. Now, remember, these are my opinions. Nicole and Mahmoud. Why do I have such a hard time? Mahmoud. Will those two ever stop bickering? And it's over the same thing over and over and over. It's how she dresses, cover her hair, all that stuff, So, of course, they're arguing and arguing. Or she's sniveling. And they decide to go swimming. Because she loves to swim. So she asks him, should I wear my bikini? Of course, she's kidding around. But she does wear the swimsuit that he got her the last time she was in, what were they, in Egypt? I can never keep Morocco. No, that's not them. I get mixed up. Anyway, I've inserted a picture up here somewhere of Nicole in the swimsuit. Now, bear in mind, she doesn't keep the hood on. Oh, those two. Well, it ends up where they're walking down the street, arguing. She's trying to get away from him. She's walking way ahead of him. And he says, if you don't get in the Uber with me, then we'll get divorced. And it shows him getting in the Uber leaving. So, will they get divorced? Probably not. You wonder where they find these people. But then you gotta stop and realize there's a lot of people that are like these people you see on these programs. I know a lot of it's probably scripted. But I don't think it's that far off from how a lot of people really are. Okay, then we will move on to... we'll save Gabe and Isobel till last. They're one of my favorites. Let's see. Okay, and then Jen. Poor... when she looks straight-faced, it's like her eyes are all up in her head. And oh my God, she just looks awful that way. I'm not being catty. I'm just saying it how I see it. Anyway, she went back home. Or she said goodbye to Rishi out on the sidewalk. Or not sidewalk, but the street. Well, her things have been loaded in the car to take her to the airport. I don't know why he wasn't going to the airport with her. But anyway, before she got in the car, he stops her and he gets on one knee and he proposes to her with a ring. And of course she says, yes. So she's all excited because now he's proposed right out in public to her. And then next we see she's at home. And she's sitting at the dinner table with her family, which is her mother, her brother, and his wife. Her kids aren't there, but of course the brother is very negative about this whole thing, even about her getting engaged, which, it's got a right to be. And mom just kind of, okay, well, because she's a woman, she's taken in by men too. So, I don't know what's going to happen with those two. I just don't know. So, she's back in the States. She'll be filing for another visa to go back. And we'll see what happens as she's trying to go along and do her visa thing. I did happen to see a little excerpt, though, of where... you remember before she went to be with him, one of her friends went onto the dating site or whatever it was, Instagram, TikTok, dating site, whatever it is, they're all the same thing. People are all asking people to, I mean, I had a guy ask me a couple of weeks ago if I'd be his sugar baby. What? 73 years old. Jesus criminy. So anyway, he did respond to her friend, but it was just a casual hi, whatever. Well, now it looks like after she's home, she's going to find out that he has sent some pictures of himself to her friend. And from what I could tell, it's just pictures of him, from the waist up with no shirt on and stuff. But that's enough to get her mad. Do you blame her? So we'll see what happens there. And let's see. Jamie and Chris. Not Jamie, but Chris is feeling a lot better because, she had the terrible neck pain and stuff. So she didn't get to go with Jamie to meet Jamie's friends, who were also hesitant about Chris going back home too, because like Jamie was worried. Well, anyway, Chris is feeling bad because poor Jamie has had to be a nursemaid to her for a few days, so they decide to go glamping, Glamping, glamping. And apparently it's this place where they've got these big clear domes or some kind of big domes. And the whole place inside is all set up like a little house. And it's out in the woods. I mean, there's nobody around them. So they go there to celebrate their 1-year anniversary of, I guess, meeting each other. And Chris spreads, of course, what do you call it? Rose petals all over the bed in the shape of a heart, and it says, "Will you marry me?" on it. And it's got a ring in there. So it ends with them being very happy because they're now officially engaged with a ring. And then Chris also tells Jamie that she heard from, I guess, her attorney or somebody back home that she does not have to go home for that court thing that's going on with the motorcycle. So they ended up very happy last night. Then, Debbie and Usama, remember they had a little bit of a hassle over, he said she was going to go back to the States after 2 months and blah, 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 and she was upset, this is not what you said I was coming here for. So the next day, of course, they couldn't sleep together in the hotel. They had to have separate rooms where the room's open to this big opening, so you couldn't possibly even sneak it. And he explains to her that he misunderstood what she said. That's all. It was just in the translation that he was really sorry and that he doesn't want her to go back, that he loves her, and they're going to work things out, but he just totally misunderstood. In other words, lost in translation. So they decided to go to the beach, and they had a blast. And he's so nice to her, too. I mean, I hope he's for real. And they decide to ride a camel on the beach. Well, she gets on this camel, and he's in front of her. And Usman, so many similar names. And he's laughing away, and she's laughing and cheering and screaming. And afterwards, she says to him, "Did I embarrass you?" And he says, "No, I love seeing you act like a young girl and laughing and having fun. I don't care what other people think around me. I'm here just for you." Right thing to say. So, so far they had a good day. Then we let's get to Danielle and Johan. Well, all of a sudden it's been a month since we last saw those two together. And it shows her in her apartment in New York packing up. And she's leaving the next day to go back to the Dominican Republic to permanently live there with Johan. This chick travels with 10 suitcases. Plus, she had shipped a lot of boxes already because, she's moving all her things. No furniture, but all these things were in boxes. Oh my God, what a mess her apartment was while she was packing too. And she says she's ADHD, so she gets very overwhelmed and she'll get distracted easily. Well, I understand that. But he still checks in 10 suitcases. So she gets to the DR and he meets her. And of course, he's there in a regular car. How's he going to get these 10 suitcases in the car. He fit what he could between the little trunk, because he had to borrow a car, and then fits them all in the back seat. And then there were like, I think two or three suitcases or four that had to go on the roof. And he just puts a little thing, a little like strap over them. Well, she wants to drive. Because that way, if the luggage falls off, it's, it was her driving that got it in trouble. No, he insists he's going to drive. He's the man, he's going to drive. And she says, you've only been driving a month. I've been driving for 25 years, right? Well, she finally gives in, lets him drive. So the last we see, they're driving along, and of course, they're still kind of bickering at each other about little things. So, we'll see once they get to his place and she starts moving in, because he picked out the apartment. Now, he said she saw pictures of it and okayed it. She saw pictures online. So we'll see. I'm curious, really, to see what he ended up picking out. Then finally, we get to Isobel and Gabriel. I love those two. When last we met, they were having dinner at her parents, and of course staying overnight for the weekend. So the next day they took the parents out for, I think it's a lunch or a brunch or something. And he finally tells her father, her parents, he says, I was born a woman, such and such many years ago. I've been a man for 10 years, and I'm a trans person. And the father just, and that's where it leaves us. And the mother just kind of, you can see the smile on her face while they're absorbing it, So we don't know yet. I'm hoping it goes the right way. I mean, come on, this is 2023, And of course, poor Isobel had him worried, because she said she didn't know what she'd do if she had to choose between her father or him. So get a grab. Anyway, I really hope those two make it. And I hope the daddy says, well, you're such a good guy. I mean, they love him for who he is now. How is that going to change it? To me, I think he should have just kept it to himself if they were that worried that the father was going to object and say he couldn't marry her. Not really their business. So I think that's it. I'm going to check my little notes and make sure we didn't forget anything. I think that's probably enough. Now, next week's might be a little harder for me to do it or get it to you, because we're leaving in the morning to go back home to Washington from Arizona, but it's going to take us, like a week and a half or more, because we stopped for about 4 or 5 days in Vegas to see my daughter. And I'm not sure how the Wi-Fi is going to be in the RV park we stay in, but I will sure try to do my review. I know I should get to see it, I hope. It also depends on the TV up there too. But Michelle does watch these programs, so I'll be able to at least go watch it at her house then if I don't get it on the TV in the RV park. So I hope you're all enjoying these. I'm having fun yakking about them. I haven't gotten many comments, so I'm just assuming everything's okay. So please comment below, share, like, and subscribe. And I hope you're getting as big a charge out of watching this program as I do. I love you all. Bye.